What's up, Renegade Nation? Before we begin the video, I'd like to give a big shout out to our most recent Patreon supporters: Mystique Meredith, Windwalker 57, Weiss Rose, Emperor Tiger Star, Zix Cafex, Golden Pants, Kyle the Warrior, Melody Richardson, Rodney Huggins, Zach, NB, Chaos Vesperia, Marvoius, and Alexander Pritt. Thank you all very much for your support. And if you want to support us on Patreon, feel free to click the link below in the description to find out more. We'll see you there. I have a small caveat with this battle. Optimus Prime, very powerful. That's not the caveat I have. The Gundam. If we're talking about Gundam, are we talking about the original Gundam? It looks like the original Gundam. The one that was piloted by Amuro Ray. My only thing is, Optimus Prime has gotten more powerful over time and all that, and I worry that they're going to use like his most powerful form versus the Gundam from the original
early
series.
Gundam.
Which was very limited.
The RX-78 is like the Ford Taurus of Gundams.
Yeah,
now.
I would call it like the concept, like the 1960s concept car of the game, but compared to, say, a Tesla Roadster, which is a beast of a machine. Now, imagine,
one of the things about Optimus is he can't fly, can he?
Huh?
Optimus can't fly, can he?
Depends on the version we get. Okay. Because there was a certain because I remember.
So I was going to say, past a certain point in like the timeline of Gundam, most Gundams have space flight abilities. So.
Yeah, but I mean, Amuro raised it, but you got to remember, Optimus Prime is from another planet, so he knows space faring as well. Although interstellar, like in space combat, I think there has been some Transformers media that has taken place in that. Although I don't know the full spectrum of what.
One thing too is like you got to think about the fact that Optimus is a sentient machine.
Yes.
And he is fighting as if he is a body, like he's controlling his own body.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas like you got a pilot controlling a machine where the reaction times and everything could be close, but I doubt they would be on the same level as a sentient machine.
No disconnect. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I'm a bigger fan of Gundam. I know more about Gundam than I do Transformers.
Yeah,
but
same
I
here.
think the Optimus would probably destroy the shit out of a Gundam.
Probably.
Like maybe if you were gonna go, I think in G Gundam it was less like they were controlling it, more like they were linked up.
Yeah.
Well,
but
and then of course there's also
Pacific Rim
the
stuff.
Wing Zero and the Zero system. The Zero system made the pilot actually be able to predict and could actually take preemptive moves.
Yeah.
To where it reacted faster than what the opponent was delivering.
Even the most highest tech Gundams in, like, let's say the Wing series are very technologically advanced, and they
Wing
probably
Zero,
can handle.
Epion,
They can probably handle almost every attack that it's going to throw at. It's probably got a lot more armor, but Optimus Prime just has more tricks under his sleeve.
Yeah.
That's kind of.
Well, I guess we'll find out what iterations they're using.
I guess if they're limiting it to
I got to learn more
original,
about each one before I can even make that decision. But I'm pulling for Gundam. I'm pulling for Gundam all the way.
You might change your mind after they do the rundown.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see.
I say Gundam's going to lose, but I'm pulling for him.
Sometimes, rarely, these will be like super lopsided, and you're just like,
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was surprised
Pulls
about the
close.
Ganon thing.
Let's see what they say and what they go with and what their logic is on it, and we can judge after that.
All right, let's get this going. Let's see what happens. This is Optimus Prime versus Gundam Death Battle. Here we go.
We might want to tell people we're not doing Mob right now versus Tatsumaki, because even though we know all about Tatsumaki that we can from the anime, we have not watched Mob, and we want to watch Mob. So
fair enough.
yeah,
So
I don't want to get it spoiled for myself.
Again, everybody. As Nick explained there, we will not be doing Mob Psycho versus Tatsumaki. Simply because of that. We have not watched Mob Psycho, and we want to. We don't want to be spoiled on things.
So once we get to watch that, we'll go back and do that.
Well, yeah, there's another one that we actually skipped as well that we couldn't do.
There's spoilers on well, someone requested Sasuke versus Hiei, and even though I've seen all of Yu Yu Hakusho, I'm still in Shippuden, so I really don't want Sasuke's later abilities spoiled for me either.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. So Anyway, we got this queued up here. Let's give it a watch. 3, 2, 1, kick it.
Across this vast world of different nations with different people, it is the clash of opinions which truly divides us. However, there is one universal truth which absolutely everyone can agree on.
Giant robots are freaking awesome! Like
Yes.
Optimus Prime, the original G1 Transformer.
And the RX-78-2, the original Mobile Suit Gundam.
These aren't just any robots, they're the old school classics.
They're going with the
first
original
of their
versions of
kind,
both of them.
And we're in for a
It looks
robo
like it.
battle of East versus West.
Well, Optimus was originally a Japanese toy.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Millions of years ago, on a distant planet called Cybertron, a great unrest grew between two factions of robotic beings, the Decepticons and the Autobots. With little warning, they found themselves entangled in civil war.
Led by that douchebag Megatron, the Decepticons started gunning down any bot they pleased for basically no reason, including some guy named Orion Pax, which will be important later. Rest in peace, Bro.
What Megatron didn't know was that this seemingly random encounter would end up reshaping the universe.
Thanks to a robot Gandalf, Orion Pax was rebuilt into something bigger, stronger, and way more recognizable.
The newest commander of the Autobots had risen, Optimus Prime.
The Autobots will never sacrifice freedom.
Optimus is a powerful warrior with tons of awesome robo powers.
As a Transformer, he can scan nearby objects and morph his body to resemble one, becoming a robot in disguise.
His favorite is a classic 1979 Kenworth K100 tractor. An oldie but a goodie which sports 500 horsepower and can book it over 80 miles per hour. He even gets a trailer which, when he doesn't need it, mysteriously disappears into thin air. No, really, where the hell does that thing go? I need to know.
More importantly, the life force of every Transformer resides in their spark, sort of like a soul. And Optimus is no different, except that his spark gives him a few unique abilities.
Yeah, his spark's pretty rare. Compared to other robo people, it gives him increased strength, speed, and durability. He can shoot laser beams from his hands, fly with either a jetpack or his feet boosters,
Okay, so he
and
can't
move his
fly.
limbs around while they're detached like some sort of ghost robot Rayman. Ooh!
Optimus is referred to as a 0.1%er. That is how rare a being of his caliber is.
Is that what all those people on Wall Street were protesting?
Even then, many of Optimus's abilities are further enhanced thanks to his possession of one of the most powerful artifacts in Cybertron's history, the Matrix of Leadership.
Oh, yeah, you know, nothing much. It's just a piece of robot god.
The Matrix is a conduit for the power of Primus, the creator of the Transformer race. With this, Optimus can heal some of his most grievous wounds.
What? Not all the time. Like, you know, when he died.
And use the power of the Matrix to light our darkest hour.
Well, he has an impressive arsenal to hopefully keep that particular problem from coming up again.
Yeah, never again. Regardless,
Yeah.
he wields the Ion Blaster, a giant death cannon which Prime one-hands like a boss. This big old rifle fires bolts of energy strong enough to take down most Decepticons, and can even be fired into space from ground level. Even better, it never seems to run out of ammo. One can only dream.
Optimus Prime also carries numerous weapons composed of Energon, a raw energy force used by Transformers to power their technology and, well, themselves.
He's got a glowy Energon axe and Energon swords, perfect for slicing up robots of all sizes. And I guess they'd probably work pretty good on people too.
Fighting fire with fire, Optimus Prime led the fight against the Decepticons for several millennia. Eventually, the war even found its way to our own Earth.
But we've got nothing to worry about with Optimus protecting the planet. He's tanked blasts that would tear other bots apart, like when this mega refinery exploded. It could be seen from outer space. He's punched the ground so hard, the trees around him freaking exploded.
Child's play, Boomstick. He's strong enough to tip this large oil tanker, which, when compared to the real-life Sea-Wise giant, must weigh over 700,000 tons.
He's tossed a satellite into orbit and punched hard enough to crack 6 shots.
Especially like
plate.
Superman
Who
level.
boasted that his armor was drawn
Yeah.
from the
Robot.
compacted
That's why I'm saying
subatomic
he's
matter
gonna
of a
destroy
collapsed
I don't
star.
think a
Just
Gundam,
to let
one
you
Gundam
know.
could tip a tanker over like that.
Yeah.
Such a star would have a density of over 300 billion tons per cubic inch. While great density doesn't necessarily beget great toughness, this still means 6 Shot's armor was 500 billion times more dense than osmium, the most dense natural material on Earth.
You're the most dense natural material on Earth.
What'd you say?
And our robo-commander rested. He's fast enough to catch up to this Decepticon space shuttle in just 23 seconds.
Given the size of the Earth here and the angle of ascent, we can determine he's moving around 125,000 miles per hour. He's also a talented leader, capable of commanding 1,000 battles at the same time via the Omniglobe.
Like Skynet, but in a giant disco ball. He's used that crazy strength of his to punch through Megatron, who once tanked an explosion big enough to knock Cybertron out of orbit. And thanks to the weird robo-magic of the Matrix, he's even defeated Unicorn,
Unicron.
who's basically a giant robot Satan who eats planets. This guy is unstoppable.
Not necessarily. Optimus is certainly powerful, but after all is said and done, he has one major weakness.
To violate that law would destroy our honor.
He's just too nice.
Yeah, he's kinda all about the whole honor and fair fighting thing, which kinda screwed him over more than once, and even got him killed multiple times. Plus, he killed himself once just because he accidentally broke the rules in a frickin' game. Damn.
But when his back is to the wall and all hell's breaking loose, he'll fight to the end, riding the eye of the storm.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
In the year 2179, humanity has embraced the stars.
Well, mostly.
Right. After a somewhat united humanity expanded across the solar system, the ideologies between those on Earth and those in space began to drift apart. A new space-noid republic, the Principality of Zeon, arose to challenge the Earth Federation.
Space Noid? That like the Domino's pizza mascot, but in space?
No, more like space Nazis.
Oh, well, I guess it's no surprise that they started a war by gassing a populated space colony
Gundam's
and
just a
dropping
lot
the
more
whole
of my
thing on the
stuff.
planet.
Definitely
Man,
my
that's messed up. But that's just how it started. For the real star of the show, some smart guys put their heads together and came up with the coolest thing they could think of. Giant fighting robots.
These were mobile suits, and one of Earth's nuttier engineers had developed a suit which would put all others to shame. This was the RX-78-2, otherwise known as the Gundam.
There have been lots of mobile suits named Gundam, but this was the original granddaddy of them all.
This experimental mobile suit was hidden on a remote colony, but before its maiden voyage with the equally classified white base could begin, it was caught in a surprise Zeon attack.
With just 2 Zaku suits, the Space Nazis wiped out almost all of the White Base's military crew. The only people left to save these secret projects were civilians who had no idea these things even existed.
Among those who rose up was a young boy named Amuro Ray. Brilliant, albeit standoffish, Amuro was actually the son of the Gundam's chief engineer, and had already stumbled upon the mech's coded blueprints.
So he grabbed the owner's manual, jumped in the Gundam, and flew into the fight. Damn, not too shabby for going off just the manual.
Amuro quickly adapted to its complex controls thanks to its learning computer system, designed so the Gundam itself can learn its pilot's limitations and compensate.
Its body is made of a super durable Luna titanium alloy called Gundarium. Of course.
Yet another fictional metal that's way
Gundanium
better than
alloy.
anything in real.
Yeah,
That was in Wing though.
that yeah the it translations.
Oh,
there
yeah,
you go,
yeah.
because you got to remember it's it's not like it is nowadays where you can just Google Translate something.
Yeah.
You go to interpreters, you go to language professors. It's like so do we anglicize this L or this R, or do we anglicize this this here or that?
Yeah.
Like it's difficult to decide sometimes. But yeah.
For weapons, it's got twin 60mm Vulcan guns for ears. It's got a shield that can block shots strong enough to take down warships, and a gravity hammer, a supersized flail that's rocket propelled. Whoever came up with that is my goddamn hero. Same with the destructive beam
Ain't that right, Boomstick?
That would be the ingenious Dr. Minovsky. Thanks to him, the beam rifle is a marvelous feat of weapons engineering. Minovsky had developed a way to miniaturize the enormous megaparticle cannons found on warships without losing any power.
The result is a Gundam-sized rifle that can take down entire fleets of ships all on its own. It's like having a pistol with all the power of 1,000 tanks.
A single shot could easily tear through a 13,000-ton Musai-class warship. Given the official stats of this ship, to tear it asunder like so would require a strike worth nearly 9,000 tons of TNT.
Sure, the beam rifle only has 16 shots, but who really cares when you just need one?
Last but not least, the Gundam carries 2 retractable beam sabers.
Because you can't have space battles without royalty-free lightsabers.
But all these amazing weapons would be useless without an exceptional pilot. Despite still technically being a civilian, Amuro became the main pilot for the Gundam. Turns out, his skill was mostly thanks to his previously unknown abilities. Amuro was a new type.
Like, Pokemon?
See, apparently humankind was never meant to live under gravity's pull. In space, without it literally weighing down their souls, some humans developed psychic powers.
That is the dumbest backstory for why someone gets powers, and we've heard a lot of them, Wiz. So what, he can like read minds or something?
Sort of. These powers and their capabilities have little definition, often differing between different people. Most new types can instantly understand each other upon contact, even drawing kinship between sworn enemies. Amuro's abilities in particular grant him something akin to
Can increase beam saber size if it lasts for more than 4 hours. Please
and
consult
where his
Dr.
enemies will
Minovsky.
be, and can capitalize on it if he reacts fast enough.
How could he possibly predict I'd attack from the other side?
He shot down targets too fast for the eye to see, and navigated his friends through a collapsing fortress with no casualties. By the end of the war, his own reflexes were pushing the limits of the Gundam itself.
A magnetic coating was added to the Gundam to compensate, reducing the suit's friction and increasing its speed by 27%.
Over 14 years of military service, Amuro became a legendary pilot. He even learned how to use these super fast funnel guns with his Psycho powers.
Speaking of speed, the Gundam is comparable to the red Zaku piloted by Amuro's rival Char, which is 3 times faster than the standard green model.
During the first large-scale battle with mobile suits, a Zaku flew through the battlefield in 7 seconds.
By comparing the 1,072-foot-long Magellan-class starships in the distance, we can tell the Zaku flew over 7 miles. This puts the standard Zaku's top speed just under Mach 5. When tripled to compare to Char, this means the Gundam can move at least 11,000 miles per hour, 15 times the speed of sound. Highballing it with Amuro's new type powers and magnetic coating, it's possible the Gundam can move as fast as Mach 25. Though anything over that would put it dangerously close to re-entry speeds, which its chassis cannot survive on its own.
The Gundam is strong enough to lift and throw this goofy mobile suit, and tough enough to power through a magnetic field that's 7,200 degrees Fahrenheit. It survived plenty of really big explosions, including a detonating asteroid and a nuclear blast which wrecked Amuro's home colony. I bet it could wipe out the space Nazis all on its own.
It nearly did. Amuro and his Gundam were instrumental to the war effort. It doesn't matter how much the Gundam was burned. It would always stand up, dispel the fear, and fly. Die! All right, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
But first, let me transform your eating habits.
Blue Apron.
Transform your eating habits.
Right. Yeah. I've tried Blue Apron. It's nice.
Did I say Ford Taurus of Gundams? Because that thing is running like a 1996 Dodge Dakota, if you ask me.
But right now, it's time for
I'm a
a
little biased,
death
though.
battle!
I was gonna say, Mike.
I was gonna say more
like
like I was gonna say more like a Ferrari. I mean,
I was gonna say more like a 2008 blue Toyota Tacoma.
No, like the
Like my-
Zuka.
like my
The
baby.
Zukas are like your standard Humvees, and
Yeah.
his is more like a Ferrari. You know.
Well, an armored Ferrari.
Yeah, very armored Ferrari.
like a titanium Ferrari.
Twisted
Luna
metal.
titanium Ferrari. God. So
I'm going with the RX-78.
I am too. I just think Gundam's cooler, so I'm going with it.
There are a lot of factors I'm not 100% on with this. Mostly because I can't remember all the math because of my ADD, but I think Optimus is still faster and more durable.
I think Optimus is going to.
So even though I love Gundam, like Gundam is one of my favorite things, I still love Transformers as a kid too. Like
point is the pilot, and
I think Optimus is still going to pull it off.
I think so too.
So Optimus.
The only thing that makes me think that I'm not sure too is just I forgot that blanked on his name already. The pilot,
Moro.
Yeah, Moro was kind of like precognitive and psychic. Like
Yeah.
he may be able to react faster, but I think Optimus can still move faster than he can react.
Optimus.
Maybe, I don't know.
So,
I'm going to go with Optimus.
So this side of the couch, full Optimus Prime. You're going.
I thought you were going Gundam.
I want Gundam to win, but
Okay.
But
I'm
Optimus.
pulling. If I'm betting, man, I'm betting on Optimus.
Okay, you're going Gundam, and I'm going Gundam. So 2v2. So
Which is weird because I build Gundam, so.
well, no, and it's perfectly fine. No, you're making a logical deduction based upon what you're
I
showing.
don't build literal Gundams, but I build the gunplay kits, obviously. I wish I built literal Gundams. That'd be fucking badass.
Yeah.
My mom's cousin actually brought me one of the solid gold RX-78 Gunpla models when she visited from Japan.
Nice.
Put it together.
That's
Yeah, it was
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
That was awesome, dude.
Hell yeah.
She even had like the old school. She had like the RX-78 and Char's red Zaku on it, and like all the like Generation 1 stuff. I was like,
Oh, shameless plug. I do build Gundams on stream sometimes, so if you ring the bell or come to the Discord and look out for the announcements, you can come hang out while I build one if you
or
want
send
to.
him Gundams to build.
Yeah, do that too.
Or that too, yeah.
I will definitely build your Gundams if you send them to me.
That'd be cool.
All right. Well,
There's an
ladies and
address in the
gentlemen-
description for our P.O. box.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is time for a death battle! Let's see what happens.
That's the plan.
What's up, Amaro?
Come in. Where are you?
I'm checking something out, Sayla. It's more than meets the eye.
Get your front back to my face. If there's trouble, we can't send backup.
Both those shits.
It's the cheesiest thing he could have possibly said.
It's an enemy monster. I told you.
Oh, quiet.
There you are.
I love the music.
Ooh!
Vile Decepticon, I have been in battle for countless eons.
Nice drop kick. You know, I think this is Anthony Vince. The guy. I'm sorry, I hate to pause here, but I think the person singing is Anthony Vincent from 10 Second Songs.
that's quite the
AKA your clone, Micah. Your musically talented clone.
yeah. That's quite the stop frame there.
Not today.
Oh no, Amuro. Oh,
See, if that stab would have happened to the Gundam, it'd have been over. That's what the pilot's at.
shot through the ship.
Wait. But they can't survive re-entry. Well, I mean, unscathed.
Speeds.
Yo.
I hate gravity.
Yeah, his arm's all jacked up.
But now he doesn't have his. Oh yeah, well he turned right here, so he still has his little.
I love that they're making Optimus grunt like a Shogun. Oh, grinding his face on a wheel. Woo! Close. Ooh!
stand, so you shall fall.
Oh no! Bye, Amuro. Damn.
That's what I thought.
Figured that would happen.
I didn't know that he could do that with his. Is that the Matrix or his spark?
He's got
Yes.
the touch. He's got the power.
The Gundam was an impressive machine, and Amuro was a skilled pilot, but Optimus's millions of years of battle experience completely overshadowed Amuro's 14. Also, we already know that Optimus was over 6 times faster
Oh.
and 9,000 times stronger.
Well, there you go.
Holy hell.
That's what I
Who
thought.
knew Optimus was so freaking buff? But the Gundam held plenty of its own advantages. With Amuro's super future sense powers, he could keep up with Optimus's speed. And with the Gundam's firepower, who cares how much it could lift?
Unfortunately, the Gundam's limited ammunition meant this couldn't last. And even then, Optimus could certainly survive a shot from the beam rifle.
Remember that refinery explosion Optimus survived? The one you could see from outer space?
This blast left an enormous gash on the planet Cybertron. To measure the power of this explosion, we needed to compare it to the curve of the planet. Now, Cybertron's size is pretty inconsistent throughout G1 Transformers history, but even when using the alternating sizes between the cartoon and the comics, the blast is far more destructive than the beam rifle in both cases.
And Optimus just walked right out of that bitch. And this isn't some weird outlier just out of the comics either. In the cartoon, Megatron survived a blast that pushed Cybertron out of orbit. And he's pretty comparable to Optimus.
To be fair, the Gundam boasted some impressive durability feats too.
Like when Amuro accidentally blew up a Zaku's nuclear reactor right in his own face. Hey, give him a break. It was his first time.
This explosion created a hole in the space colony which sucked out Amuro's father.
Whoops. On the bright side, he's gonna save some money on Father's Day gifts, right?
And with his heightened mind, we deduced the scope of the explosion.
It's over 150,000 kilotons of TNT. That's 10,000 times more powerful than the bomb that dropped on Hiroshima, but still nowhere close to the refinery explosion Optimus survived.
Also, the Gundam couldn't dodge Optimus's ion blaster forever. It was fast enough to strike targets in orbit from ground level. That puts its laser speed over 3 million miles per hour.
Even when he knew it was coming, Amuro couldn't react quick enough to dodge or block anything that fast. And even then, Optimus's time in the Omni-Globe proves he can think way faster than Amuro.
And just to blow your mind even more, in order to obliterate Unicron with the Matrix, the energy output must have equaled more than 40 Yotatons of TNT.
Like the Star Wars game. And you know what they say, size matters not, especially when Optimus has defeated opponents as big as Devastator.
The Gundam was a powerful mobile suit with some astonishing firepower, but was ultimately outmatched by the Autobot's strength, speed, durability, and experience.
I'd say Optimus was primed for this fight.
The winner is Optimus Prime.
Blank cash on the table, I'd be
Thanks for
making
watching,
money.
guys. If you want to see the exclusive commentary,
Okay.
But the
this episode,
Gundam's
just
still
click
way
the little
cooler.
box over there. And if you want the battle music for yourself, click the link down below, and you can get it off of iTunes. See you in the next one.
Oh.
I like the bloopers thumbnail with the googly eyes on them.
Haderp. Haderp.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking.
So, yeah.
It's like when they were given the numbers, I was like, if I remember correctly, a lot of Optimus Prime's numbers sounded a lot higher than the Gundam's
I knew that
numbers.
because of the speed.
When I saw him tip over the tanker, I was like, I don't think a Gundam can do that.
No.
Like, as far as I know, there might be some of the like later really powerful Gundams that could, but I don't think an early one can.
A lot of times there are instances where they don't throw out the math, because if they did, it would make it way too obvious. They don't tell you the exact numbers until after.
They leave some stuff until afterwards, like for sure. I've noticed that. And the explosion was actually one of the things I was thinking about. I was like, they said how big the explosion was, but they kept it kind of quiet on exactly what that means for its durability and stuff, you know, because they didn't really compare the same way. And like when they showed the reactor explosion, I was like, a nuke versus that you could see from space. I don't know if you can see a nuke from space or not.
They basically essentially had the power of a Death Star
Yeah.
inside of a cannon, so it was like, that's gonna destroy any Gundam.
I can't say I'm surprised. That was a super cool fight, though. So.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was.
Very
I love
excited
their animations of their fights and just how they go about it. Even the music, it's very reminiscent of that era too. You know.
Did you check the description to see if it had credits for the music?
They said it was down here. Let's see. With Boomstick, official death battle theme.
Brandon Yates.
Wings of Iron. Is that, I guess, the battle score?
Werewolf, Werewolf.
Yep. So it was not 10-second songs.
No, well, no. He started Werewolf, Werewolf.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I do
Yes.
too.
Young Frankenstein.
Werewolf, Werewolf.
Hump? Hump? What hump?
The
Yeah, just gonna keep trying to bring up the.
Okay, so
I
it's
think it's
not.
a local band that, or somebody that just hired to do it.
Maybe.
Fra Blucher.
That's cool.
I'm just gonna think of Young Frankenstein now after that popped up.
I always,
Superior grouping.
I liked Transformers as a kid, and some of the movies were okay, but I've just never been a giant fan of it. And
G1
Gundam just blew me
G1's
away.
G1's the best.
Whenever
but
I was a kid, I was just like, "Oh, it's so cool! Why don't we build them?" And then I was like, "Oh, they're impractical."
Generation 1 of Transformers does not age well, though.
No, it doesn't.
It's rough. It's like watching G.I. Joes.
Yep.
G.I. know. Yeah. But for me, I would think of the. I would think Gundam is pretty considering how Gundam has evolved. It has only gotten better and better. Whereas Transformers.
Well, I say that, but it did get to a point where I think it derailed. I think it derailed from what like Gundam kind of felt like. Gundam, all the Gundam series have always been kind of military-esque, you know, Civil War, governmental war, space colonies, spaceships, technology,
Pretty serious stuff.
gearheads,
Yeah,
serious stuff.
yeah.
And then when it kind of got to the more like, I don't know, just
I remember the one that was literally a gigantic Gundam head that revealed itself from the
Yeah.
Earth, and everyone had to fight it. They called it like
G
the Dark
Gundam.
Gundam.
Yeah.
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 once
It
it got
got
the G
weird.
Gundam, it got into basically it was kind of
Yeah,
like Dragon Ball Z, except
Yeah.
Well,
you're in a Gundam. It was like, what is
but
this?
You see, they went back to basics though
Mm.
after G Gundam.
Did they?
Yeah. 'cause-
Well, they had a
they
little
did.
short Gundam.
Well,
Yeah, like I said, G Gundam's
No,
kind of
that's-
its own thing.
Seed or whatever.
no,
that's
Seed,
S
okay.
Gundam, I think.
No,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
Gundam Seed and Seed. Okay, every decade there is one tremendously good Gundam series. Like in the 70s, it was the original Gundam.
Yes.
In the 80s, Stardust Memory, part 2 of the original Gundam series. I forget exact Gundam Z, I think it was called.
There's a lot of Gundam series out there. I have not seen
And
them
then
all.
in the 90s, of course, we had Gundam Wing, and we had the one with the
Yeah, the platoon.
With the
There
The
was-
platoon.
MS-08 team.
MS-08, yeah.
Yes.
And then in the 2000s, we had Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny, which were Seed Destiny was a sequel series to Seed. And
Now,
then
supposedly, from what I hear, Iron-Blooded Orphans is pretty bitchin'.
that's
It's
the
most
one I was
recent.
going to mention
Yeah.
here recently because I watched the first season of Iron-Blooded Orphans and I liked it a lot.
I've only seen the first episode so far, but I was kind of like, okay, like from just what I saw.
Well, it deals with the child soldier crisis thing because some of these kids are really good at what they do because it's what they were raised around. That's all they know, and if they themselves are wanting to determine their future, why shouldn't we let them? It asks some interesting questions, and
It's like some Ender's Game vibes.
yeah, kind of. Except, well, I will say this. Probably my main problem with it is is just how he's not overpowered, but his character is not as interesting as it should be. The main pilot, I forget his name now, but he has an issue where I think his character development stalled about halfway through the first season, and I'm like, okay, are we gonna learn anything else about it? Oh, okay. I'm gonna say full judgment on it until I watch the second season, but again, he's probably one of the weakest parts, but yet he's one of the two main characters. So it's weird. It's very weird. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that was an interesting battle, though. That was a very, very interesting battle. And I gotta say, man, I mean, Optimus Prime doing what he does and just, destroying everybody, and this time not dying, and disappointing all the fans worldwide, because when I remember hearing about, I was like, Optimus Prime dying, I'm like, I know, man, in the movie he died, and that sucks, and then it was like, oh no, dude, he's died before. Wait, what? And then all of a sudden you look back and you see the old Transformers movie from the 80s, and all of a sudden his core gets removed, his spark gets removed, and it's just like, and then all of a sudden his eyes shut, and you're just like, did they just old Yeller
sure
Yeller Optimus Prime?
They sure did.
Son of a bitch! They just old Yeller this motherfucker.
At least once every 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, at least. But
apparently they've killed him 26 times. That's all fuck ton of times to kill one character.
I could do these death battles so many different ways just in the Gundam series alone.
Oh yeah,
just in the Gundam series alone. Of course, most of them have mostly fought at certain ones, except for certain allies.
Hey,
but,
you know what? You know what? I think they should really go with a whole new Gundam in the next one. Oh, hey, Big Zam.
I'm a big Heavy Arms Custom fan.
Heavy
I just
Arms?
think Heavy Arms Custom was the
Trollbar,
bomb, man.
Troas
Fucking missiles coming from everywhere, tons of ammo,
Yeah. Chest
quad
opening up,
Gatling guns,
dual Gatling guns,
God.
the shield on one hand.
Yeah,
that was
heavy tank and armor, and in space it doesn't matter how heavy you are, and you're still gonna be fast.
Yeah, my favorite in terms of its look out of Gundam Wing. Death Size Second Model, Death Size Hell.
Yeah,
The way it
Size.
reveals itself from the
Where they,
darkness and its wings
opens
come up, just like,
Yes.
oh boy, this is good.
It's actually my gamer
I like
tag.
Death
and
Scythe
my-
is my favorite
all
from the
stuff.
beginning, besides Ephion. So
I think of the original Death. Honestly, I think I like the OG Death Scythe better than Death Scythe Hell. Honestly, I know that sounds blasphemous.
No,
but
it's not. No,
it
everyone's
looks
got their
so
preference.
clean and cool. The colors
is.
on
He
it.
does. He does.
I love it when he literally takes the scythe and he slices the entire top of the the top of the warship.
Yeah.
Just boom, one swipe, it's just done. I was like, I mean, you disabled the whole ship apparently. I mean, as soon as you do that, it's like
And his Buster Shield was cool, where it was just like
where it
open
just
up and
flies
just.
Yeah.
So it's like a beam drill thing.
shoot
That
up
was
the
awesome.
helicopter.
And keep in mind, he took on Wing Zero and won.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: the guy who was piloting Wing Zero was
Well, he basically
was not able
he was
to
trying to
handle
commit
the Zero
suicide
system.
basically when
Well-
he did that.
I was a big Sandrock fan.
Sandrock
Yeah.
was pretty cool.
He's the pacifist. He was actually one of my favorite characters in there. But
Catcher was a good character.
Yeah.
in
And
a lot of
you
ways.
gotta think-
I hated him as a kid, but as an adult,
Well,
I was like, I understand.
I appreciate him as a kid. I really liked him. I mean, Hero was always like the hero.
Yeah.
But you got to think, out of Zex and Hero, who was the only other pilot to survive the Zero system with his mind intact? It was Catra.
As a matter of fact, Catra conquered it as well as Hero
Mm-hmm.
and Zex. And and he had doubts that he was able to control himself with the Zero
Mm-hmm.
system, but Hero reassured him. He said, "You conquered it before I did."
Yeah.
So
I mean, so that was kind of a big deal.
of course, and then of course, everyone forgets Wu Fei and Nataku.
Wu Fei's
I
pretty
love
cool.
Nataku.
Wu
I
Fei
love.
was killer. I think he was the strongest one of all of the pilots, though.
Dude, like the thing that he and Trey's had was pretty cool. Like, where
Yes.
it's like, he literally got out of his Gundam to go fight him hand to hand. Like,
Oh, yeah.
And he'll honor that too. He's, I don't know, he's just an awesome guy.
Well, yeah.
And
all
he
the-
likes animals, so
Yeah, and I can't really find
He's
fault
cool.
much faults with any of the 5 main heroes in
Yeah.
Gundam Wing. I mean, everyone says, "Oh, Hero, he's just he's too OP and this and that." The dude got shot in the arm like second episode and almost got killed by Duo.
yeah, he got,
He got messed up.
he got
pretty
roughed
bad.
up pretty good.
Yeah. Well, we've rambled and rambled like we normally do. So, what do you come to expect from us, everybody? So, again, everybody out there, thank you all so much for tuning in. This was a awesome death battle, and we hope that you all enjoyed it. And if you want to see the original, link is in the description down below. And if you want to see more from us, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell to stay notified. Like the video if you haven't. Please do. It helps us out a lot. And until next time, signing off, I'm Nate.
Micah.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Nick.
And we will see you all in the next one. Peace out.